You're such an asshole!
Hello everybody, my name's Aaron Clary. Most of you know me, some of you don't, and if you're here saying, you know, I handed off this company, this empire, this dynasty I built with my own hands, I handed it off to my children and they ran it into the ground. How did that happen? Well, I, my good entrepreneurial, capitalist, hard-striving, captain of industry friend, I'm going to explain to you why. The short answer is you spoiled your kids rotten. Right? Now, the reason this came up is, well, we all know this happens. I mean, you can see it. It happens all the time. But I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was telling me the story about how this guy worked. He had a mining company. He started from the ground up, and he worked hard, and then he gave it to the kid. Kid, 27 years old, ran it in the ground. Took a $20 million per year company, ran it into the ground. And another guy, I think was not as grandiose as that, but what was it? A transmission shop, mechanic shop, something to do with cars. Built it up. They're millionaires. They went from poverty to able to support a family of 8. He had a lot of kids. And then he handed it off to the kids. Kid drove right into the ground. So let me explain why it is that when you hand your business off to your children, they gum up the works. And they not only lose the entire fortune, all the people that have come to rely upon your company that you created and the families that you employ, the people that go and support other families, why they end up having to lose their jobs, right? You were too easy on your kids. You spoiled them rotten. I saw this growing up. Every generation has seen this growing up. You guys are blinded to it. But there is the spoiled little rotten brat whose daddy bought him a brand new SUV. There's the spoiled little rotten girl whose daddy bought her a brand new convertible cabriolet, which you don't know what that is unless you're around in the late 80s and early 90s. And what ends up happening is you busted your ass off. You worked hard. You hated poverty. Most of you came from poverty. You didn't get it handed to you like the Bushes or the Clintons. And you were industrious. And it wasn't that you worked harder, but you did work a little bit smarter. So you worked harder, smarter, and longer than the other guy. You may also have had an entrepreneurial streak, but all this was created, prompted by, incentivized by poverty. Where you're like, this sucks. I don't like sharing my bread with my brother. I don't like some families actually had to fight for the food, like the older brothers and sisters would get it. You would have to kind of muscle your way in. I mean, how many bunk beds? Anyone remember bunk beds? You probably do remember bunk beds. You probably didn't even have beds. You probably slept on a mattress on the floor. I got to do that in the early 80s. So you remember that, and that is the engine, the fuel by which you prompted yourself to what could be called greatness in the form of entrepreneurial endeavors and business ventures. You, in a very World War II, I don't want my children to suffer, spoil the baby boomer sort of way, said, gosh, I remember what it was like to be in poverty. I don't want my kids to go through that. And out of blind love, very short-term sighted love, you spoil your kids rotten. Not realizing it was the pain and suffering and poverty that drove you to the lengths that you took to achieve greatness, excellence, entrepreneurship, take a risk, work harder, work smarter, work longer, work better, Daft Punk, harder, stronger, better, faster, than the other guy. And so it's like galvanizing steel, or galvanizing any metal. You have to put it through a forge of fire. You have to suffer. You have to endure pain and agony in order to have the incentive to come out stronger, better, more capable, and above all else, have the desire and work effort to do that. You guys do the complete opposite. I know a company now where the grandchildren are the most spoiled, worthless, and I mean worthless. Worthless. They crashed the brand new cars granddaddy and daddy give them, and now they're starting to groom these kids for management, and these kids are dumb. They're also young. I mean, you can't fault them for being inexperienced because they're not old enough, but they're dumb and they're lazy, and it's the wealth that you just slathered, drowned your kids in all this wealth that have made them soft and killed any kind of hunger or desperation or desire or given them any kind of incentive or fire in their bellies, fire under their asses to get them to go forth and kick ass and build things for their own. And so when you hand them this turnkey thing, and here's another thing, this is not their fault nor yours, you don't realize how much it took you to build up. Like, you think, oh no, this is easy. I can run, anybody can run this. No, you really don't realize it until you try to hand over the reins. For example, I have a company called Asshole Consulting. You may have seen the advertisement up front. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is pretty easy. I just do videos. And then I realize everything that goes into it, the marketing, the perfectly scripted emails, the timing, the follow-up, it would take a full week just to train one person to do what I do. And it's a pretty simple company. Now, I can only imagine for those of you who have genuine, real companies with employees, divisions, assets, accounting divisions, staff, and all that. Oh, no, it's not that easy. You just don't hand it off. Right? So you have to, and a lot of you don't even bother training your kids in. But you just hand this stuff off to people, more importantly, who are weak, who are soft, and frankly, inferior. And a lot of times, they got a lot of attitude and they got a lot of lip. They think they're actually better than people. I had a client a long time ago. Kid was in, what was it, Wayzata or Edina? Something that ends with an A. One of the fancier suburbs in the Twin Cities, which is where I hailed from. And he was a poorer kid. I don't know if he got grandfathered into this school district or whatever, and all the kids show up in brand new Beamers, or brand new this, and brand new that, because Mommy and Daddy, oh my God, I just paper from China. Every day I need attention. And he's like, this sucks. All the girls, like every guy has like all these awesome cars, and I got no car. I pedal my bike or I take the bus. And it's like, kid, those cars, you know, Johnny McFootball comes in with Daddy's Beamer. That's not Johnny McFootball's Beamer. That's Johnny's dad's Beamer. Matter of fact, it technically is Johnny's dad's bank's Beamer, or the leasing company, because I know there's a lot of fake money out there. I'm actually just talking to you real successful people, all 1% of you, not the 99% of posers that drive German cars. And when I'm telling the kid, look, that's not Johnny's car. And everyone who thinks that's Johnny's car is dumb. They're missing a point, right? You're all just a bunch of dumb high school kids. Johnny didn't earn that. Johnny thinks he's cool because he's driving it. Johnny is acting like he's a BMW owner, and for kind of, you know, owner or whoever holds it is 9/10. So in a certain sense, yes, that's Johnny's car because his dad gave him permission. But when it comes to brass tacks, Johnny didn't earn that car, and he didn't earn the right or to have the attitude or the arrogance or the prestige or whatever else that comes with it. That is what you're doing to your kids. You're turning them into Tina, the girl from Edina. My dad bought me a Volvo. And like, hey, dude, yeah, man, like, yeah, check out my car. Oh, dude, my dad's awesome, yeah. Yeah, he works over at Dan Rauscher, and like, he's a pretty big deal over there, and no. That's the attitude. That's how you spoil your kids. So not only are they incompetent, they're assholes. They're pain in the fucking ass assholes that no one's gonna like, and the only people who are gonna go after them are, guess what? Gold diggers who like them for their money. Well, it's not their money, it's your money. But don't worry, soon all the money will be gone because you never had them galvanized. You never had them grow strong or tough. It's like, do you work out? You know, it's exactly like muscles. Like if you don't work them out, they get soft. They have to have resistance. There has to be pain. There has to be suffering. Your brain, do you get smart just sitting there watching TV? Well, your kids don't, right? But you got to watch documentaries. You got to read. You got to do math. And then you get a higher IQ. And then you have a powerful brain. It's the same thing with your kids. You went soft on them. They never really matured beyond 5 years old. They got attitudes and an entitlement mentality. And then you hand over the keys to your business empire. What do you think is going to happen? You notice how George W. Bush, is it Herbert? Herbert is 40. Bush Jr. What did he buy? The Texas Rangers and an oil company and all went bankrupt? That's because he was a spoiled brat daddy's boy. He was the son of a president, right? What else? I'm trying to think. Who else has gone into business that's famous and just failed it? There's other instances, but this is why. You're not raising self-reliant, hard-working, you're not raising self-reliant adults. You're not raising adults, period. And you certainly aren't raising hard-working, hungry adults who got the hustle and the desire and the desperation to go and achieve greater things. You are raising weak, pathetic adult children who are capable of accomplishing nothing. So when you give them the keys, you make them CEO, and they run it crashing into the ground, and then you got to fire off Bob and Phil and Amy and Jesse and Mike, who've been working there for 25 years, and they really relied on, the small auto plant being open, or, they really relied on that restaurant chain to be open, or whatever it is, right? That's how you not only ruined kids' lives, you ruined everybody else's lives who was employed by you, and the family's dependent on it. Not to mention the rest of society we gotta deal with your spoiled ass little shitty kids, whether they're actual kids or they're fucking adults. So here's what you want, this is what you want to do. Although, what was it? It was Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. They both said they're not gonna pass on the inheritance to their kid. They're only going to leave them $1 million, which is still too much. Here's what I recommend you do. This is what I was going to do if I was ever going to go have kids, which I decided not to because growing up with your kids and seeing how the kids you were bringing up, because I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want to have anything to do with this crap. And my theoretical kids aren't. Act like you're poor. Okay? Act like you're poor. I was going to do this. Like if I was a big-time banker or a doctor or whatever, an entrepreneur, if I was making my money, I'd live in a crappy house, which I do. I drive crappy cars, which I do. And I would, like if I was a doctor, I would wear a blue jumpsuit, Bob. And gotta go to I wear scrubs. I say, no, I'm just an orderly. And I would not let my kids know that we had $10 million sitting in the bank. I would say, well, I don't know, and I wouldn't starve them out either. I mean, I'd take them to Disney World and go, okay, now we're going to save, all right? Don't ask for anything else this year. I would teach my kids to work at the age of 12. Oh, would you like that candy bar? Why don't you collect cans like I did in Michigan in 1983 when I was 8 years old? Then you could buy your candy. And then they will strive, they will galvanize, they'll become superior superhumans, right? And then, once they go to school for accounting, I know, you rich people, who your daughters you can't let little precious Susie, she's your princess, you can't let her work or do math. You just go major in sociology or communications and become a journalist, sweetheart. You just do whatever you want. Why is she living at home still? I thought she worked for the Huffington Post. Isn't she getting paid? Oh, they don't pay. Oh, you mean it's flooded with other spoiled little suburbanite girls from America who majored in journalism? I did not know that. I've been too busy running my company. I handed it off to Junior. What does red ink mean? My CPA says there's spelling a lot of red ink. So, instead of sending your kids for these fluffy bunny degrees, you send them off to trade school, you send them off to the military, you make them become accountants, you make them become engineers, you make them become computer programmers. If you got a problem, look at the advertisements later, look at my book, Worthless. Everybody's kid should be reading that now. You should too. So that when they graduate from college, and even then, your mom and I, we can make it out just once this year. Then, when they're finally making their money, and they're actual, real supporting adults, then you lay it on them. Son, daughter, I've lied to you all these years. I am a surgeon at the University of Chicago's hospital. Matter of fact, I'm the top heart surgeon. I'm surprised you didn't Google search me. And you could go by a fake name. Your working name's different than that. And we are sitting on $10.3 million. I would like you to take this money and invest it. And you know what? Instead of pissing it away and squandering it like every East Coast Ivy League preppy sucker out there, I was going to use different language. Instead of every little blue blood, then they'd actually invest in, wow, thanks, Dad, I learned self-reliance. Or you have yourself your company or your shop. You have your son working as a mechanic. He's slaving away. And then you finally say, son, I forgot to tell you something. I own this place. And you now know how to work from mopping the floors all the way to doing the accounts, to being chief mechanic, to advertising and marketing. Do you want to take it over? And he will ensure that he doesn't run it into the ground and lay off Bob the mechanic, Amy the secretary, and Jessica the IT gal. So, for your sake, it's sad for your sake because you build up this legacy and you see it pissed away because you handed it off to your children and grandchildren. For your children's sake, so they don't become spoiled, rotten brat pains in the asses the rest of society gets to deal with and inevitably divorce. and that will come to haunt you later. And for our sake, the people that actually have to deal with your kids, stop raising spoiled little brats. Do not hand your companies off to your children. Make them work hard like you did, build something of their own, strengthen their mental and their work ethic muscles, so that if you do decide to pass on your company or liquidate it and pass on the millions, they do not squander it and piss it away like the typical spoiled brats we see every day. You are not helping them, buying them brand new cars and paying their way through college. And God, I had one guy fly these kids out to Europe, and you're flying 16-year-olds to Cancun? What the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, that will help out a lot on a societal level, micro level for your family. If you have questions, like, oh God, this guy has a different insight to something, you could go to assholeconsulting.com. You know the therapist you send your kids to? I got anxiety disorder. I have the ADHDs. And it's like, no, maybe you just gave them too much money. You want to try an alternative theory? You want something a little bit more? Go to assholeconsulting.com. I'll take care of you. And trust you me, it's going to cost a lot less than what your kids are going to cost you in terms of bankruptcy costs. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.